starting my broadcast in just a few seconds here. I'm just I had to start the YouTube first, and go ahead and start this. One moment. Yeah. All right. You will learn resistance is futile. Your state of mind is irrelevant. All right. Just checking my sound here. It sounds all right. So, this is Sunday, May the 26th, 2019, and you're listening to Thunder Talk with your host Thunder Bear, the Courage Family. All right. The chat is open for the LVR Live chat room. It's open. And the chat is actually, the group chat is open for my YouTube channel as well, Thunder Bear Courage. But that is harder chat for me to actually look at during the whole show because I don't have very much. I only have two screens. Okay. So I have to basically kind of move that one out of the way. And maybe I can put it right there. Maybe it won't be too bad. Right below that chat there. Okay. Let's see. And go over to my Lightning Post page. All right. So, yeah, tonight I'm be doing a show mostly law, flat Earth. Talk about a few other things as well, like hell, for example. I'm going to talk about hell tonight because it kind of ties in with law, actually. Not quite the hell you're thinking about, I think. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about censorship tonight. I had a really unusual experience recently here. I videoed some cops twice, by the way. Okay, 2 different videos. And I also did another video where the cops were present, but I wasn't videoing the cops themselves. I was videoing something else. That video was saved to my phone. But the 2 videos that I had videoing the cops, guess what? It didn't get saved. They didn't get saved. Now, there's a possibility that I just did something wrong. But there may be a possibility that there is essentially a worm on my phone. A worm is a kind of like a computer virus, and it targets certain things. And I think maybe there's a possibility that it's using the facial recognition part in the camera to make sure that no video of cops gets saved. I don't know for sure though. I have too small of a sample. You know, I don't use my video on my smartphone very much, but I tested it the night before. Okay, and I tested it again after when I found out that the 2 videos of the 2 cops weren't saved. I caught them actually putting forth a false claim into the public and actually committing other crimes as well. But yeah, no evidence now. That's just the way it goes. I have all kinds of, I get all kinds of evidence and it just disappears on me, for one reason or another. One time it was stolen, okay, by someone who was looking for the evidence. It was a whole bunch of court documents, and technically it was my friend's court documents and his evidence, but I helped him gather it and everything. But yeah, we had like lots of evidence that the courts were committing fraud. And it was this like huge stack of court documents that he got from the courthouse itself. And they were in a dresser. We had a certain filing system that I did for him because he didn't have a filing cabinet. We just did it with dresser drawers. So we knew exactly where the documents were. Well, we get back to his house one afternoon, and the documents, some of them are still there, but the ones that prove fraud are gone. And it's the only thing that's it was the only thing that was missing out of his house. There's some money still there. There was watches and, a few kind of, expensive items, maybe sort of semi-expensive, whatever. Nothing else was taken, just those documents. Well, you look to motive. If a crime is committed, you look to motive. Who in their right mind, what criminal would sneak into someone's house, break into someone's house, and steal just documents? Steal documents that didn't even pertain to them. Well, yeah, no criminal would do that. Whatever. So anyway, on my since this is going out on YouTube as well, okay. In the description for the video, I posted something. All right, that's actually contact information, but also notes. I posted essentially it's not exactly a template, but kind of close to a template for how to claim things like property from the courts, how to get someone out of jail, in essence, or how to get your car back, or how to get money back or drugs back. If they steal your drugs or steal your marijuana, this is how you get it back. Okay, it's kind of a template. It's Carl Lentz's stuff, which is fine. Most of what I know that actually works, I got from Carl Lentz. The vast majority of it. Okay, and this Carl is Carl with a K, not with a C, not the preacher. Okay, the guy that does law. There's a link, of course, to documents. I highly, highly encourage you to get those documents. You just click on that link and just download them. It's about 7 megabytes, a little over 7 megabytes. All right. So I highly encourage you to do that. Now, let's get into the law thing here. Look, I've been in helping some others. Okay. Helping other peoples and stuff with their various problems. And one thing I'm running up against is they keep adding to my stuff. Basically, I'm telling them, no, you do this super, super simple way here, plain English. You do this. Okay. And they're doing all kinds of crap, like saying accepting the Constitution for the United States and accepting the Declaration of Independence and and notifying the court that they've made these acceptings of these documents and all kinds of crap. I mean, just tons and tons of crap. Some will talk about the UCC and, oh, should I file a UCC and all this stuff? No, none of that crap. I know what works. Okay. I know what works in courts. With cops is a completely different matter because cops are basically just thugs with guns. There's really not a whole lot that works with cops. They don't know law. They barely know any legal stuff. When you have cops arresting someone for like a grandmother for having CBD oil when it's perfectly legal, and they toss her in a jail and handcuff her over next to the toilet, so she has to stay on the floor rather than on the bed. Yeah, that's well, what can I say? They're predators, okay, and that's predatory behavior. A predator will prey upon the elderly and the sick and the weak. That's what they do. That's just the nature of what they do. All right. Now, let me explain to you why you don't accept the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. We'll start with Declaration of Independence first. That's not your declaration. You're not declaring independence from King George III. Are you? If you are, something's seriously wrong with you. Okay, or from Prince George III. If you actually go and look at the Declaration of Independence, it does talk about King George III, but it also talks about Prince George III. Well, what's the difference? You say, well, they're different titles, the same man, but two different titles. He's King of England, King of France. Of course, in this particular thing, the Declaration of Independence, they're referring to him as King of England. Okay. He's Prince of the United States, at least one of the United States, the Republic. Okay. And this is what they're getting at is, well, sort of the Republic, I guess, or something. I don't know. There's so many different United States of Americas. I get confused sometimes. But yeah, he's Prince of one of those United States of Americas. Okay. Well, you know, it couldn't be the Republic. I'm sorry. Change that. It could not be the Republic. It would have to be the Confederacy, under Articles of Confederation. I'm thinking. Let's see, 1783. Nope. It'd be the Republic. Never mind about that. Confederation was before that. Sorry. Oh God, I got so much stuff up in my head. I get twisted around a little bit sometimes. But yeah, there's the Confederacy. There's the Republic. There's the in Title 28, Section 3002 of the U.S. Code. There's definition A for United States, which is federal corporation. It's a private company. The IRS is a private company too. I'll be talking about the IRS tonight as well. Okay. It's technically it's a trust. It's trust number 62 out of Puerto Rico, but whatever. I'll talk about that a little later. So yeah, you're not the one declaring anything when you're using Declaration of Independence. Okay. The Declaration of Independence does not declare independence from the emperor, for example. You know, the Holy Roman Empire. If you want to know, you know, where all that fits in, look at the Definitive Treaty of Peace, 1783. Very first paragraph. Okay. Very first paragraph. So, oh wait, I'm sorry. That's the, damn it. See, I am getting a little confused. Declaration of Independence, when was that? That was before 1783. That's probably, that may have been in, let's see, that may have been in 1775 or something. I don't know. I have to look it up. God, it's been a while. Oh, cool. NASA Lies About Everything has joined the chat session. I always have trouble with those two words together. The chat session. Yeah. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. The Declaration of Independence. It's not your document. Okay. Has nothing to do with you in the current day. All right. Same thing goes for the Constitution. The Constitution is a contract. It's a contract. Well, it depends on which Constitution you're talking about, which United States Constitution, because there's two of them. Okay, there's the Constitution that is for the United States of America. That's the Republic Constitution that only goes up to the original 13th Amendment. Okay, and no farther. And then you've got the federal Constitution. They're not your contracts. And they're crappy contracts for the most part. There's only one little thing I like about the Constitution. Okay. And that's the search and seizure thing. That's it. You know, when it mentions searches and seizures, that's the only thing I like about it. But I don't use it. You know, it's like, it's not in my contract. Okay. I tell you what, let me skip over to the IRS for a moment because I do want to talk about that. Because I've been talking to some guy on Facebook, and he keeps talking about, oh, you need to see the codes. You need to read the codes for the IRS. The IRS is, as I said, trust number 62 out of Puerto Rico. Okay, and it's a trust under the crowns. The three crowns: the imperial crown, the Holy Roman Empire, okay, the English crown, and the crown Templar or Templar crown. It's under those three crowns. 90% of the money goes to those. If you look at IRS publication, now I'm doing this off the top of my head here. IRS publication 6209, master business file, block 300 to 399. I hope I'm still on the air. Let me move something here. Okay, I'm still in the air. So anyway, yeah, it's a treaty. It talks about a treaty between the United States and United Kingdom. Okay. You want to talk about the codes? Try the IRS publications. And by the way, on the top of that publication, the very top, again, I'm doing this from memory. Okay, so it may not be totally precise, but I believe it says something like, this publication is not to be disseminated among the public because it contains information of a sensitive nature. Okay, that's IRS publication 6209. And then you look, the master business file, it's like chapters within that thing. Okay, basically. So master business file, block 300, 399, that's where you will find that treaty. The 1040 form, all the money from 1040 form goes to the English crown, because the 1040 form is for cattle, essentially, and farm equipment. That's what the 1040 form is for, and that's the reason why they like you using it. You are considered cattle to them. Okay. There's actually, I gotta look that up. I keep forgetting there's an executive order. I can't look it up right now, but there's an executive order that calls everyone. It's not exactly chattel property, but something like that. Something that means chattel property. I can't remember what it is. I think it had a whole bunch of ones and zeros in it, though. Okay, so it was like executive order like 1101 or something like that. I can't remember. No, I think it had more digits than that, actually. But anyway, it's out there someplace. I used to know it, but I stopped using it. Okay, so with the IRS, what you're doing is you're making contracts when you fill out the tax forms. Those are contracts. Okay. That's what I meant. If that guy's listening, okay, that's exactly what I meant when I said I don't have a contract with them. I'm not filling out their damn forms. Those forms are contracts. That's the reason why they want you to sign. Okay. And under penalty of perjury and all kinds of stuff, you know. So anyway, hang on a second. I got to look at something here. Okay, that's fine. So anyway, yeah. Getting back to, oh yeah, the IRS. One moment. Now remember, I think I said anyway. I don't know. I practice so much. I think I said this. If the IRS comes after me, okay, and they say, well, you owe like $1 trillion or $1 billion or whatever. I don't care. I don't care what they say. I just simply will say, I will be more than happy to pay you any money that I owe you, as long as you can prove that I owe you the money. Okay. And boom, they're gone. They're gone because they can't enforce those fraudulent contracts. Those tax forms are fraudulent contracts because there's no full informed consent. Okay. Plus, you can make a bit of an argument that they're coercion. Okay. It's under duress, that you're filling them out under duress. Just don't sign the damn things. If someone tells you have to fill it out, don't sign it. Okay. If someone's forcing you to fill it out, and if someone forces you to sign it, they're obviously acting as an agent for the IRS. at that point. They better be compensated under the law of agency, then sign at the very, 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 very top where there's no more room above where you're signing, because you're only responsible for the stuff above your signature. Okay. And go ahead and put under duress first. Don't put UCC 308 crap. Okay. I used to a long time ago when I was doing the sovereign citizen garbage. Okay. Yeah, I used to put UCC 308. Don't. Okay. Don't. Don't use their codes. UCC, that's Uniform Commercial Code. That is federal common law. That's common law for the feds, in other words. Okay. For federal employees, stuff like that. If you have a business license, you are essentially considered a federal employee. Okay. So that's what the IRS actually they go after federal employees, and you're considered a federal employee. Okay. So don't go coming at me and say, "Oh, you need to read the codes. You need to read the codes." I'm tired of this, damn codes. I mean, please. There's if you want to really get into codes, then you can check out like the titles, the U.S. title, like let's see, I think it's Title 38 or Title 31. It's been a long time. I believe Title 31 is like banking, and IRS is in there somewhere, like either in 31, 38, something like that. I forgot. It's been a long time. But yeah, you got that stuff as well. Okay. And like I said, you got the IRS publications, and some of them are classified. They don't want you to know the truth. That's it. They don't want you to know the truth. So, okay, getting back to courts. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. I'm just like that sometimes. Yeah, courts, they coming after you with charges. Just you ask them, is there a man or woman, and you ask them in writing too. That's very, very, actually extremely important. Writing, if nothing else, writing. Okay. As a notice, as a general notice. Okay. Is there any man or woman willing to come forward and swear under penalty of perjury that these charges are true, valid, and lawful? Okay. You can do that, or you can do the Carl Lentz one where he says, is there any man or woman coming forward to swear that I have caused harm, injury, or loss? Or you can do both of them. There's no harm in doing both of them. Okay. Now look, if you're going to follow my sword and shield method, okay, do not listen to anyone except for me or Carl Lentz. Okay. Now I do have links to others, podcasts and stuff, but that's, like one of them is for mortgages. There's one guy that specializes in mortgages. That's fine. But if you're talking about courts, just listen to me or Carl Lentz. Okay. Carl Lentz, he has more experience than I have. He's better than I am at a lot of things. Okay. Dealing with the courts. I mean, he's flat out better than I am, but I got my little tricks. I've got little things that I don't think he's thought of, like how I got my friend out of jail. Okay. I don't think he even has thought of that. Now, if you've listened to my show, you know the story, but I'll go back over it again. My friend who was railroaded by his defense attorney, okay, who, by the way, his defense attorney tried to get me to testify against him. Okay. He was railroaded by his defense attorney. The charges, if I remember right, I think there was like 2 charges, and one of them was resisting arrest and battery upon an officer. The battery upon the officer came while he was resisting arrest. Now, I want you to notice something here. He was under arrest and he committed battery upon an officer trying to get them off of him. But where was the original charge? It was dropped because they were wrong. Okay, they were totally wrong. And he could easily prove it. It was a case of mistaken identity. They decided to go ahead with those two charges. Okay. And this was a time when, well, in his, he had to, it's a long story here, but his second trial, okay, the first one was a or mistrial. First one was mistrial. Okay, but his second trial, I just barely started listening to Carl Lentz because I just discovered him. If I had listened to Carl Lentz more, if I had known that he existed prior to that and known to listen to him, my friend wouldn't have gotten put in jail in the first place. My friend was sentenced to 3 years in jail. I pulled him out in 7 days. Okay. Well, actually, I think it was 8 days, and he said it was 7 days, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay. Now, how did I do that? I claimed him as my property. Now, the thing is, at the time, I thought, well, I got to adopt him. And you can, okay, lawfully, not legally, but lawfully. It's very important. Very important distinction. You don't do it legally, you do it lawfully. Okay. You could do it legally as well, but whatever. But I've been thinking about it recent days. It's like, you know what? I don't think I even had to adopt him. I think all I had to do is just simply claim him as my property. You know, that's it. Just simply claim him as my property. What's happening with the courts now? Part of the idea came to me because I found out the defense attorney makes you a ward of the court. Okay, so that means they're basically claiming you as property of the court. So that and Carl Lentz talking about how to get a kid back, or a little baby boy, little boy or a little girl back from the courts. And I'm thinking, wait a second here. Why don't I just adopt my friend and just get him out? And I did. I adopted him lawfully. Kind of messed it up a little bit, by the way, but it didn't matter. The courts knew exactly what I was doing, because I basically let them know. I'm not hiding anything from them. You know, there's times when you might want to hide something from them for a little short time, but I'm pretty out in the open. You know, I'm a really out in the open kind of guy. You know, I let you know what I think, basically, for the most part. But yeah, they knew what I was what I was about to do. I'd been down in the courthouse almost every single day, trying to figure out a way of getting my friend out and gathering evidence against the crooks, the guys or whatever in the courthouse. And I do this, claiming him as my property thing, and the next thing I know, they're saying, "No, don't worry about it. He's got a hearing coming up. He'll be out. He'll be out." That's what they said to me. He will be out. And that hearing wasn't even scheduled until after I did the claim, which I don't even think I did right. I was flying by the seat of my pants here. Okay. This was at a time when, like I said, I barely started listening to Carl Lentz. And so I'd only listened to like maybe 5 or 6 of his videos, maybe, or maybe 10. I think I actually listened to like 10 of his videos. He's got a lot. I highly recommend numbers 501, 502, 503. Okay. But I have links to a lot of his videos and my sword and shield method as well. Anyway, I've got to do a break. the breaks are actually shorter than they usually are. It's only about 4 minutes. Okay. I decided to trim a bunch of stuff. So I'll be right back.
You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live, and this is the Flat Earth Man, and all you're watching is a puppet show. All y'all watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, man. You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live.
Find yourself mastering the beat. Tune in and listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music, our resident musician and spiritual brother in Christ Yahushua. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this
yes,
out.
It's Message in the Music time once again, and only Flat Earth Radio has got him. Saturday, the true Sabbath. Lend a knee and lend an ear. Listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this out.
Starting at 5 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast, 8 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast,
Check this out.
and 7 o'clock p.m. Central.
This is out.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
West Blaze Music. Only Flat Earth Radio has got him. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
As bad as I wanna be. FlatEarthRadioLive.com. The Ferret.
Hey, John, you don't look so good. What's the matter?
Oh, I always feel tired and run down. You know, no energy. I think it's my poor diet or something.
Well, you know, John, I used to feel the same way. Couldn't sleep at night, couldn't stay awake in the daytime. That's when my doc told me that I had leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, wow. What'd you do? Surgery?
No way. I tried Tarsal. Tarsal is made with the finest, purest cream of tartar and MSM sulfur. And that's all. The fact that it contains all natural ingredients makes it especially desirable in today's toxic world. Tarsal is a white powder that you take every day with water or juice. Taken regularly, Tarsal can clear your leaky gut right up.
Tarsal, huh? So what else does Tarsal do?
Tarsal can help with acne, psoriasis, constipation, gallstones, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hypertension, IBS, and UTI.
Wow, that's quite a formula.
Yes, it is. And Tarsal also helps you to relax, repels insects, and can help you stop smoking.
So how do I find Tarsal?
That's easy. Just go to tarsal.com or call 619-363-1264. Try a bottle today and begin feeling normal again.
TARSUL.com. Try Tarsal today.
Asking these questions that no one ever asked before because we didn't even think about this. I think it's like God unlifting the veil, you know? He's starting to show people, look, you want to believe this? It's a lie. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail. It's like, yeah, the biggest problem is that we're not able to asking questions, so therefore we can't assimilate. And, you know, people are asking questions and truth is going to prevail.
Join your host, Shelley Lewis, every Wednesday afternoon, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Down the Rabbit Hole with Shelley Lewis.
Down the Rabbit Hole with host Shelley Lewis. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live. The Ferret.
Okay, back. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about Carl Lentz's UK case. He was in the United Kingdom before the Queen's Bench. Okay, I don't remember which episode this was. He talked about this. In fact, he's probably talked about it on several episodes. I do remember it was on the Uncommon Law show or something like that, whatever. Uncommon spelled with a K. But I don't remember which episode. So anyway, he's talking about how he had to go over there, and it's kind of a last minute thing, so he didn't have a whole lot of time to really do anything. And he was defending a guy named Bali. Okay. And what he did was he just put in a really super short 1-sentence claim into the prosecutor's case because he just didn't have a lot of time to do anything else, really. And he told Bali during the court, he says, you don't react to what they say. You don't do anything. You sit right here. Okay. And they were going through the case and, having their little trial. And the prosecutor started calling Bali's people's all kinds of racist remarks. He started saying all kinds of racist stuff to get a reaction out of Bali. And Bali got really angry and he starts to stand up. Carl grabs him by the shoulder and yanks him down. And he says, don't move. Don't react. Okay. And it's the way the whole way through. They just sat there, didn't say a word, didn't react. And at the end of it, the magistrate says, all right, well, I have to fine for the defendant. In other words, there was the case just, the crown prosecutor's case just went away entirely because that one sentence. Okay, and I think it was a simple claim. I forgot what the sentence was, but it may have been something like, is there a man or woman coming forth before the court to swear that I have caused harm, injury, or loss, or something like that? Okay, one single thing, one single sentence, which the prosecutor laughed off. And then the prosecutor had to come back. He came back after the trial and asked Carl what he did. And Carl said, well, I just put that one sentence in your case. That's it. One sentence. And Bali had walked free. Okay. That's it. He just walked free. Now, I know how to put forth notices. Every single case that I've ever been in, okay, that I know of anyway. All right. That I know of. That's a long story there. Every single one of those cases that I know of, it's been a conviction on the legal side. In other words, they convicted my legal person, but I always walked. Okay. I always walked. And the reason being is because I placed myself onto the common law side. I didn't give a crap what they did with the legal person. Although now I know that I could just, give the judge a bill for using my legal person without my permission, without my express consent. Okay. And I can do that with the prosecutor. And now I know a way of enforcing the bills. All right. I didn't know how to enforce the bills before. Now I know. All right. But, it's a steep learning curve. The whole damn thing is a steep learning curve, even though at the core of it, it's really simple. It's like this. It's like if you were a little kid and you were surrounded by other little kids, and the other little kids were saying, oh, well, we're holding a court and we find you guilty and we're going to chain you up in the basement over here. And you say, nuh-uh. Yeah. It's like, your court doesn't mean anything to me. And that's basically what it is, there's, there's no real establishing of jurisdiction. Their courts, the only way they establish jurisdiction is through fraud. Okay. That's it. That's the only weapon they've got to use against you is fraud. Okay. And adhesion contracts. An adhesion contract is like if you go into a restaurant, you order a meal. Well, you just made a contract with that restaurant. They bring you the food, you give them the money. Okay, for the food. You pay for that food. It's like this. I just saw a story on Facebook, like, I don't know, maybe a few minutes before the show or whatever. And it's about this American military guy. Okay. He's over in Greece and he goes to this restaurant and they refuse to show him the menus and the prices. And he orders something and he gets the bill for $900 and some odd dollars, like $940 or something like that. And he has to pay it. Just because they refuse to show you how much it's going to cost you, doesn't give you any right to stiff them on the bill when it comes. All right. Now, if they committed fraud, if they said, well, here's the prices here, and they charge you something else, that's different. But yeah, don't eat there. Any restaurant they refuse to show you the prices, don't eat there. Period. Just don't eat there. Where's the prices? We're not showing you the prices. Oh, well, bye. Okay. When the court places an order, a judge gives you an order. All right. You make sure it's an order. Okay, great. I will fulfill that order if you can. You fulfill the order, whatever the judge orders you to do, and then you render the bill to the judge. This is commerce. It's all commerce. You can see that not only in 27 CFR 72.11, which is commercial crimes. All the crimes are commercial in nature, but also in the complaints. If you ever seen an official complaint from the court, it'll have a stamp on it on the front and it'll say civil. Doesn't matter if it's a criminal case or not, it's going to say civil. Civil is Holy Roman Empire and it's commerce. Okay. It's code. It's in a way, it's code for commerce under the Holy Roman Empire. So yeah, but don't get the complaint. Okay, seriously, don't even take it. Don't accept it. Don't accept anything from them. The only thing you want to get is you go down to the courthouse and you get the authenticated, comprehensive, complete copy of the case. That's what you want to get. Okay, you get it time stamped, you get the court seal on it. That's what you want to get if you have to. Generally speaking, I don't really have to because I know how to just do things because I've had so much experience now. They can't even bring me before their courts anyway. So, but let's assume for a moment that they could bring me before one of their courts. Yeah, I can demolish the whole thing in like 5 minutes. Okay. Or, well, maybe a little more if I have to actually physically write something out. I'm a slow writer. But yeah, if I have to physically write something out, okay, that's going to take a little bit of time there. But, 5 minutes after I deliver the notices. And just, I can shut the hell up or I can just play with them. But I can do that. You can't. Most of you can anyway. Some of you might be able to. By play with them, I mean I can extract evidence from them. I really wouldn't recommend doing that though, unless you can record the proceedings. Okay. Or if you have witnesses. All right. So if you have lots of witnesses that are there, to witness the court proceedings, well, then yeah, go for it. If you know what you're doing, you can, verbally ask a whole bunch of questions that are just going to embarrass the hell out of them. Like, hey, is your court an Article 3 court under the Constitution for the United States? They're not going to say yes or no. With me, either a yes or no, I can just totally demolish them. And that's the reason why they don't say yes or no. They say some crap like, oh, you have to see an attorney about that. Really? So I asked a judge, Judge Kelly C. Mock, hey, is your court an Article 3 court? It's like, oh, you have to see an attorney about that. Oh, so you have no idea what kind of court you have. I wish I had said, oh, well, I take that to mean that your court is not an Article 3 court. Okay. Yeah, I take that as a no. That's what I take that as a no. I wish I'd said that at the time, but I didn't. Yeah. As soon as I get paper before court, I'm out. I'm free. That's it. I've gotten it down to where I can just do that now. But it was a really, really long learning curve. Okay. So yeah, it gets me back to when I do my sword and shield method. You read it and stuff. You go over it. You learn it. Yeah, don't add things. Okay. Another thing, of course, UCC, don't add UCC. Don't quote. Don't even invoke other court decisions. Okay. Don't cite other court decisions. All right. They have nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. And don't overthink. You keep it really, really super simple. Plain English. Don't have more than, like 2 or 3 pages. It depends on what you're wanting to do. Now, for me, my last time through, I had to have 6 pages because I had the whole birth certificate thing to do. I had to notify the court that the birth certificate was null and void from the beginning because it wasn't filed in the correct number of days. Okay. So I had to have 6 pages for that, and I was trying to set something up for the future as well. And in fact, I did. One of those pages was a bill to the judge, okay, or to the man who was, being a judge, okay, or acting as a judge. He wasn't a real judge. They're never real judges, by the way. So yeah. Anyway, let me see. Oh yeah, I did want to mention I was giving some advice to this woman, and I saying, well, you have to adopt your husband and stuff like that, and I totally forgot that, hey, she's his wife. She can just simply claim him. If you're husband and wife, you can claim each other's property. I forgot about that because I was thinking about the time I got my friend out of jail. So yeah. I also want to say the charges are never true, valid, and lawful. So you don't have to really worry about that. You can just simply go ahead and make a claim. I claim that these charges are not true, valid, and lawful. But when you do it in writing, just please look at my sword and shield method and the claims and stuff that I do there. Okay. To show you how to write it. Let's see. Tickets are super easy. Where's the contract? I was taking care of tickets when I was doing the free man on the land stuff. Which is, it's got some things to it, but it's not as nice and neat as Carl Lentz's stuff, and Carl Lentz's stuff works better. Okay. I'm just going to tell you flat out, it works much better for free man on the land stuff. Although the free man on the land stuff, it does have a few things in there, but whatever. I just stick with Carl Lentz or my sword and shield method, or both, actually. Both. By all means. I don't think there's anything in my stuff that contradicts Carl Lentz. Okay. The thing is, we do have different approaches. He has to do business with the IRS for his business. He also has to have a commercial driver's license. I don't have to do either one. Okay. I don't need a commercial driver's license, and I don't need to do business with the IRS. So yeah, he says without the IRS, he can't do his business. He needs it. Okay, that's fine. You know, it's what you need. All right. Oh, I did want to talk about the baptisms a little bit. I mentioned before in like a couple of my shows that you can do a baptism and basically, die and be born again as another living man or woman. And by die, I don't mean literal death. I don't mean, you're actually dying physically. I mean legally dying. You can legally die and be born again. Okay. And you can do your own birth certificate if you wish. You can create your own birth certificate. Actually, a letters patent. It's creation of a corporate entity. And you can give them notice. And you can go to, like, if it's the United States Secretary of State, and just give notice that way and say, well, this is the legal entity that I'll be doing business under. Okay. There's just so many different ways of doing it. And I thought, well, if I'm kind of not certain about this, but I think I'm a Whovian as far as religion goes, which is a religion based off of Doctor Who. And of course, I don't take it seriously because it's a television show, but I could take it more seriously, and I could do a regeneration ceremony, except I can't right now because of the timing and everything. I've got other things kind of about to be in play here, and so I don't want to do that. It's not for me right now. Maybe sometime in the future, though. Sometime in the future, I may do like a regeneration ceremony, which is kind of like the Whovian equivalent of a baptism. Okay. Give all notices and stuff, proper notices and whatever, and then have a brand new identity. Of course, you've got to stop using the old identity because that old identity is dead. You've got to stop using it. But if you want a fresh start, yeah. If you're not a Christian, I guess you can become a Whovian or whatever. You can make up a religion, or you don't even have to make up a religion. Just do a ceremony. If you're a strict atheist, okay, well, just do a ceremony. You can do a secret skull ceremony if you want, or whatever. Make something up. Why not? Their system is all make believe anyway. That's all their system is. It's just make believe. Think about it. I want you to think back to, I guess, 1776. Okay. You got some white men drafting a constitution, right? They're drafting a contract. And they're kind of implying that it's for every white man, not a black man, not black men, not black women, not white women, not Chinese, not Japanese, just whites. Because let's be truthful here. That's what it only applied to, right? But they're pretending that it applies to all the whites. Well, it's all just pretend. If I create a constitution, which I did, by the way, and I think I'm thinking about changing it. What if I said that my constitution applies to everyone? Does it? If I pretend it does, no. It doesn't apply to anyone except whoever signs it. It's a contract. Okay, it's a contract. You have to agree to it. The United States Constitution, you can't agree to because it's not meant for man, actually. Technically, it's really meant for just the federal government and for the states. That's it. Okay? That's what the Constitution is between the federal government and the states, which are e-states. They're private things. They're franchises. That's what the states are. Okay? That's what a state is. It's a private corporation. You got the state of Alabama. You've got the nation of Alabama, which is a different entity. You've got the land and or peoples upon that land. How are you going to spell it? In all caps, it's a state. There's all capital letters, all uppercase, whatever. Sorry. I should say all uppercase letters. It's a state. You have just the first letter capitalized. It's the nation. All lowercase letters, that's the land and the peoples. And or the peoples. Whatever. Okay. All right. So anyway, case numbers and stuff. If you're looking for cases, I'm going to tell you something. Here in San Diego, what they would do to me and my friend, okay, they would create a case number. Hang on a second. I came across one of the case numbers. I thought I lost all of them, along with all the evidence and everything. But it turns out I actually had one in a folder, just the number itself. Let me see. Let me pull it up right quick. Hang on. It's right here in this folder. Yeah, it's M189674. That's one of the case numbers. Okay. That case, you can't look it up in the public. All right. They have case numbers that you can look up in public, and then they have those that you can't look up in public. Okay. Oh, in fact, that was the last case. That had to be the last case. Yeah, cool. That was the very last case. It was M189674. You can't find it. I tried looking for it. Hell, I tried looking right after I got out of their court. I tried looking for it. I couldn't find it. But there was other cases that started with M and had that string of numbers. I couldn't find them. You can't find the cases like that. Now, something else. I came across someone on Facebook either today or yesterday. I can't remember. I think it was today. And he was talking about how he couldn't find his cases because he said he did a Freedom of Information Act and he was using his social security number, and he said, well, they should be able to find the case, and they're saying the cases don't exist. Like, no, that's not it. The cases aren't filed with the social security number. Like, I mean, they may have the social security number in them someplace, but that's not how they're referenced. Okay. So, they're not saying the case doesn't exist. They're just telling you that they can't go and research it because that's not how their computer system works. Now, the NSA can pull it up because the NSA watches that social security number. Anything connected to a social security number, they can pull up. All right. But not the courts. The courts couldn't give a crap about the social security number. Okay. They really don't care. What they care about is the SWKV. Okay. They care about the bonds, the prison bonds that are drawn off of that trust from the birth certificates. The birth certificates are the coin of the realm. Which brings me to hell. Yes, I did want to talk about the subject of hell. Um, I watched the last episode for a while. Anyway, it's the last episode. The last episode that aired of DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Okay, and it's like, wow. There was a couple of the characters in hell. They were trying to get their friend's soul back. Okay. Um, and one of the characters had said, no, you can't just grab the soul itself. You have to grab the coin that represents the soul. And the coin had his name in all capital letters. Thinking, that's the freaking birth certificate. That's what that is. That's a way of thinking about the birth certificate, which is of course, as I said, a letters patent. It's creation of a corporate entity. But yeah, you can think of it as a coin of realm. They said the coin represents the soul that is being tortured in hell. And by the way, their hell looked a lot like this place in a way, which one of the levels of hell does look like. It looks like, well, basically like New York City. Okay. That's kind of like what hell looks like, at least one level of hell. So yeah, that's another thing that surprised me when when John Constantine dove in through the hell gate thing or portal or whatever he created to go save Ray. He landed in a dumpster. And yeah, it got out. And it's like, there's a city. It's like, I'm blown away because yes, I know that's the way hell, at least one level of hell actually looks like. It's like, wow, they know something. And yeah. And then the coins in the following episode, which was the last episode. Yeah. I was shocked to see these coins. It's like, damn, that's birth certificates. That's what they're alluding to is birth certificates. You know, because it was one of them was like really wrong because it said Caligula on it in all caps. It's like, well, actually, Gaius Caesar, who's known as Caligula, he didn't even like the name Caligula. You know, but his name was Gaius. Okay, not Caligula. And Caligula was a nickname. It's little boots in Latin. Okay, he got that name because he was, as a little kid, he was kind of hanging around military camps and stuff like that, and they called him Little Boots, and that's where he got the nickname from. So anyway. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And there are people that said this place is hell as well. It may be a level of hell, actually. I cannot say it's not. Really. A higher level of hell. So because you still have love here, you know. The way I look at it, it's like you have this thing that I guess you can call God or whatever, illuminating love, right? From a really high vibratory level. And then that goes down through the vibrations, and it's kind of like sunlight going through ocean water. Like, yeah, the first couple little small layers of ocean water, whatever, the shallow parts of the ocean water, the sunlight penetrates through. But the deeper you go into the ocean, the less sunlight you see. Okay. So at a certain point, you go deep enough, there's a lot of this pressure, deep, hard pressure from the surrounding water, and there's no light. And that's a perfect illustration of reality itself. That's the way hell is. Hell is, you're just going deeper into the ocean in a way, to this realm here, this physical realm. You're just going deeper. So there's my little chat on hell there, my little rant or whatever. Getting back to the courts for a moment. I missed this in my notes here. Yeah, if they hold someone, if they kidnap someone in the courts, and the courts kidnap someone and put them in jail, they actually have a liability for them. You let them know that they have that liability. And notice, if you're trying to get someone out, that's another thing you can do. Is say, hey, any harm, injury, or loss that happens to my property while it's in your custody, you're going to be held liable for it. Okay? Any harm, injury, or loss whatsoever. If my property is destroyed, you're really going to pay a lot. Okay? And you hold individual, I hate to use the word individual because technically individual in the legal sense means a corporate officer, but I'm using it in plain English sense of the word individual. Okay, you hold that individual liable. Okay, you can send bills. It's a true bill. I was going to create a kind of a template for a true bill and put it in the description, but I didn't. I just didn't. I just didn't feel like it. I was getting tired right before the show. I've been here a good portion of the day, it feels like, and working, getting ready for the show and doing some other things. And so I just didn't. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe later I might go back and put in an example of a true bill or something, or maybe next week. I might put it in the show description next week. Show you what a true bill looks like. Okay. You could have it a true bill in commerce, or you can have a true bill in trade, or just say true bill. It depends. A true bill in commerce, you're acting as something in commerce. You're acting as a legal person in commerce. Okay. Just an ordinary true bill or a true bill in trade, you're acting as a living man or woman. Okay. So let me move on. Oh my. Censorship. I want to talk about censorship a little bit. There's different ways of doing censorship. YouTube. I logged out of YouTube. Actually, I've done it a couple of times because I have a YouTube channel, obviously. But I log out of YouTube every now and then and just look at YouTube, after I've logged out, after I'm no longer on my channel or using my name there or whatever. And so I get to see all this garbage that the vast majority of people get to see, because there are a lot of people that don't have a YouTube channel. Okay. They don't even have a YouTube account, I should say. Okay. Not really channel, but in this case, a YouTube account. Now, there's a huge world of difference if you have a YouTube account or not. Because when you log out of that account and you look at what the vast majority of people see on YouTube, the vast majority of it, I do mean the vast majority of it, like 99.99% of it is garbage. And that's one way to censor things. Now, let's say I look at that page and then I log in. Oh, I suddenly see a whole bunch of stuff that's not garbage. A little bit of garbage, sure. Occasionally, for some stupid reason, they'll start suggesting like a football or baseball or basketball crap or whatever. And in fact, there was one time they started suggesting makeup videos for some stupid reason. It's like, what the hell? Have I ever clicked on a damn makeup video? Why are you suggesting this to me? I got pissed. I got really, really pissed. It's like, I don't wear makeup. I don't have anything to do with makeup. Hell, there's a whole bunch of stuff that involves makeup that I have no idea what it does. You know, these little tools and stuff that they have and that women use. I have no idea what that crap is. You know, it's like, oh, come on, seriously. And of course, the sports. Most of the time when they recommend garbage to me, what I consider garbage, it's sports stuff. I think that's because I will watch a few videos on like martial arts if it's instructional, or something like that, and they think, oh well, you must be into sports. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not brain dead. Okay, I'm not brain dead. The NFL is rigged, by the way. It is rigged. It is a company with all these franchises. Okay, like oh crap, I don't know. I don't know too many of them. Miami Dolphins. Let's say Miami Dolphins. Okay, Miami Dolphins is a franchise. And that franchise has to do what the corporate tells them to do. All right. Go look at all the Super Bowl games. List the listing of the teams for all the Super Bowl games throughout history. Show me any teams that have gone to the Super Bowl that have been out of a small market. They don't do that. They all do large markets. And the reason being is because large markets means lots more people's watching, which means more revenue, more money. Okay. They rig it. It's rigged. Period. Don't tell me, oh, it's a small market, so the team's not that good. No, don't tell me that crap. I don't believe it. Okay. I just simply don't believe it. But anyway, yeah. And of course, YouTube, they're still censoring Flat Earth. And in fact, they said they were going to come out right out and censor it. Oh, there's something else. Something else I wanted to say about censorship. Hang on, I gotta scroll through my news stories here. And anyway, while I'm doing that, oh god, it's so slow here. It's because I'm broadcasting, and let me just. Damn it, I can't do that. Okay, anyway. Anyway. It's slow. Yeah, Facebook, Facebook engages in censorship. Twitter, all these social media platforms, they engage in all this censorship stuff, and it gets to be too much sometimes, really, the way they do it. Like today, today I was looking through YouTube. Okay. I put in search term, I put in the IRS is fraud. Okay. And I kept getting all these videos back about scams. How if someone calls you up on the phone and they say they're from the IRS, it's really a scam. Yeah, of course. Okay. It's like so many of those videos, but only one talking about the IRS actually being a hoax. And it was buried down in there. The IRS itself being a hoax. Okay. Oh yeah, this is something I do want to mention offhand. Okay, you know what? Let me try to do a combination of the news and flat earth stuff as well. But I do want to mention that there may be a false flag coming. There's an ad on Craigslist, I guess, for crisis actors for Las Vegas area for Memorial Day weekend, 1 to 2 days. So yeah, just be aware there may possibly be a false flag, but this is all over Facebook, so I don't think they're going to do a false flag. Okay. I think that if they were planning on it, they might cancel it. But just be aware that's, whatever. Also on my Lightning Post page, which is the show page for my show on Facebook, I have a link that says how to win your court case the Carl Lentz way, i.e., the common law way. That's a little misleading because you don't try to win a court. Exactly. Okay. Hang on. Let me back up. I got to straighten this out first. Okay. When there's a court case against you, you don't try to win it. Okay. Now, if you have a court case against them, that's the one you try to win. I can guarantee you cannot win any court case where the prosecutor is going after you. Okay, you just simply can't win it. All right, I'm telling you, you can't win it. Unless, they might let you, possibly, but sometimes it happens. Okay, sometimes it happens. Sometimes, just for appearance's sake, they will let you win a case, but that's just for the sake of appearance. You don't try to win the case. As I said earlier, you just simply say, hey, is there a man or woman coming forward to the court to say that the charges are true, valid, and lawful? Okay. Basically, what you want to do is get them to discharge the case or whatever, or just ignore it. Okay. You can just simply ignore their case. Or whatever they decide to do in the legal realm, because their courts are private. All their courts are private. Okay. Either they're under banking, which is Templar Crown or Crown Templar, or Admiralty, which is English Crown, or canon law, which is basically Temple of Baal or Holy Roman Empire, whatever. It's all private. Every bit of it's private. They're doing a private thing. Okay. That's the reason why Carl told Bali, just sit down, shut up. Don't react to them. That's why he told him, don't react to them. If you react to them, they're going to say, aha, he's in our court. Yeah, you just step out of their court. That's what you're doing. Okay. You're stepping out of the court. You put documents in and then just shut up and just stay out of it. Let them conduct their court case. All right, because it's not your court case. It's not your case. It's the prosecutor's case. Let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Basically, and then you can just serve bills after they do it. After they complete their court cases. Oh, great. Okay, I see you've completed your court case. Okay. I'm holding forth court as well. Here are the bills, and you can give one of the bill to the prosecutors and or prosecutor, whatever, and you give or to the state, maybe, if you want to do a true bill in commerce. But whatever, you give the bills to the prosecutor, to the court, and to the court clerk as well. They're using your property without your express consent. Okay, so yeah, do it that way. But anyway, yeah, I do advise you to go ahead and follow the link anyway. Let's see. Secret investor report leaks 5-step Bayer Monsanto plan to poison our food. Bayer aspirin, the ones that Bayer aspirin, Bayer, the German pharmaceutical company, bought Monsanto. Okay. And yeah, they had a secret report that's no longer available on their website. Queen receives over 1 million dick pics since joining Instagram. I love that. I bet she loves it too. Really. But she's probably thinking about actually eating them. She's probably thinking, snacks. whatever. Like consuming them. Yeah. Cop caught on video harassing, finding flood victims for trying to help each other. Owners of Noah's Ark replica sue insurers for rain damage. I love that. So they build a replica of what they think is Noah's Ark. Okay. And it gets rain damage. Just think about that. Okay. Anyway, let me do a little flat earth stuff. Mix it in with the news. Yeah. The earth is flat. I've got a photograph on my Lightning Post page. It's of the state of Florida. Or sorry, not the state of Florida. I'm sorry. The land known as Florida. Okay, not the state of Florida. If it was a photograph of the state of Florida, it would be a photograph of a piece of paper. Okay, so it's a photograph of the land known as Florida. There's water surrounding that land, and there's no curvature in the land or the water. There should be 31.5 miles roughly of curvature in the length of Florida. There is none. Not one bit of curvature. Okay? Not one bit of curvature. Boom. Proves flat earth. Okay? It proves it flat out. I don't want to hear any arguments. Now, other things. Jaron's got some really damn good videos. Jaronism. Okay. I highly encourage you to go look at some of the videos, especially some of the latest ones he's put out. I've been watching a few of his, and yeah, they're making points, and some of the points I just forgotten about. And in fact, I still can't remember off the top of my head what I wanted to say about it. I forgot to put them in I forgot to make notes about flat Earth. Oh yeah, one of them was the astronauts. I love that point that I keep forgetting. The astronauts have all these conflicting testimonies. Some of them say, "Oh, when you're out there in space, you can see the stars," and some say, "When you're out there in space, you can't see the stars. When you're out there in space on the day side of Earth, you can't see the stars. It's all washed out. When you're on the day side of Earth, you can see the stars," or whatever. It's all these conflicting testimonies. Someone's lying. All right. Obviously, someone is lying. Oh, you can't see the stars from the moon. Really? Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't you be able to? Yeah. You see any photographs of the stars from the moon? No. And why not? Because they can't fake them. Seriously, they can't fake them. Because someone who knows star patterns really well, they can look at it and dissect it and say, this isn't taken from the moon. Because the star patterns would look different from the moon than they look from Earth. Think about it. You're getting a totally different view. All right. You're getting a totally different view. Well, maybe not totally, but yeah, they're different views. If the moon actually were 238,000 miles away, which is not. Okay. There are so many reasons why, or evidences, I guess you can say, that man has never been to the moon. And the moon is not 238,000 miles away, roughly. They said they went to the moon and they sent back images from the moon. With what? What kind of transmitter? Seriously, what kind of transmitter could possibly broadcast 238,000 miles away and still be kept on a little space capsule? Or a lander. Sorry, the lander, actually. And what kind of power sources they're using? Yeah, it doesn't work. Any radio engineer, if you actually put it to them that way, they'll go look into it and they'll say, yeah, you're right. There's no way. There's no way they can be broadcasting from the moon. But so many people don't question, because it's like I said on a couple of my other shows about the whole Rolex thing. They say you have someone you really, really trust who gives you a Rolex watch, and then you go to a party. No, it gives you sells you a Rolex watch. I'm sorry, it works better if they sell it to you. And you go to a party and someone says, I can spot a fake Rolex from a mile away. That thing's fake. And you get all angry and say, no, it can't be fake. It can't be fake. Because you trusted whoever sold you that Rolex watch. And then later you find out it's fake because the question is brought up to you. But if the question was never brought up to you and you don't know how to spot a fake from a real one, then you'll never question it, and you'll go through life wearing a fake Rolex watch thinking that it's real. It's just like that. Okay, let me get back to the news stuff. There's a 3D printed death pod, lets users die at the press of a button. It fills it with liquid nitrogen, if I remember right. Yeah. So you get really sleepy and then you can't breathe and you die, whatever. It's a pretty cool looking pod though. It's all purple. It's got purple and silver. Purple is the color of royalty, Marching orders kept Buffalo cops from arresting child molesting priest. Yeah. And it was only, I repeat, only with Catholic priest, only with the Catholic clergy. Any other clergy could be arrested. Jewish rabbi, whatever I forgot the Islamic ones. Damn it, I forgot what they're called. Imams, imams or something. I forgot. Or any of that, or even a Wiccan priest or priestess or whatever. Yeah, they can all be arrested, but not the Catholic priest. And why not? Because the Holy Roman Empire is in charge. That's why not. Why do you think it's the only religion? Okay, the only religion where the Catholic Church, the church itself, gets to take care of their own matters, their own stuff. All right, it's because it's the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, Holy Roman Empire. Oh, here we go. I got a little meme here. It says, this is Donald Trump laying dead in a coffin in one of the Simpsons episodes, obviously a cartoon. Okay. The Simpsons are known to have predicted many events before they happened. Will the Illuminati fake Trump's death and blame it on a false political enemy like Russia or Iran or ISIS to justify an invasion of a sovereign country, military intervention, or World War III? Okay. Let me put it to you this way. In the Illuminati card game, which seems to be laying out a plan, Donald Trump gets assassinated. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're going to fake his death. That's the reason why he didn't want to become president. He knows he's going to have to fake his death. So, yeah, Simpsons are just confirming it. That's all it is. The Simpsons are just confirming it. There's lots of reasons to fake his death, but whatever. Pastor arrested for selling tickets to heaven to members for $500. Okay. I would like to see that court case. Really? Is this pastor going to come up and say, these tickets are good? These tickets are valid. This $500 ticket is valid. When this one that bought the ticket dies, he or she will go to heaven. If he actually stuck to that claim, there's nothing the court can do. Because he'd have to say, Well, if he stuck the claim and also asked that the charges are true, valid, and lawful, or claim that the charges are not true, valid, and lawful. I man claim that the charges are not true, valid, and lawful. He could do that. I don't believe for one damn moment the tickets are valid. Okay, that in other words, that if you pay $500 to this con artist, that you're actually going to go to heaven. All right, just because of the ticket. You might go to heaven for some other reason, or whatever. I really don't like using the word heaven anyway. I don't think it's just higher levels of existence. That's all it is. Okay, it's higher levels of existence. And I've got to play a break. It's hang on. I got to open up my phone here and play it.
Listening to Flat Earth Radio Live, and this is the Flat Earth Man, and all you're watching is a puppet show. All y'all watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, man. You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live.
Find yourself mastering the beat. Tune in and listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music, our resident musician and spiritual brother in Christ Yahushua. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this
Yes,
out.
it's message in the music time once again, and only Flat Earth Radio has got him. Saturday, the true Sabbath. Lend a knee and lend an ear. Listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this out.
Starting at 5 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast, 8 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast,
Check this out.
and 7 o'clock p.m. Central.
This is out.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
The Geocentric.
West Blaze Music. Only Flat Earth Radio has got him. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
As bad as I wanna be. FlatEarthRadioLive.com. The Ferret.
Hey, John, you don't look so good. What's the matter?
Oh, I always feel tired and run down. No energy. I think it's my poor diet or something.
Well, John, I used to feel the same way. Couldn't sleep at night, couldn't stay awake in the daytime. That's when my doc told me that I had leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, wow. What'd you do? Surgery?
No way. I tried Tarsal. Tarsal is made with the finest, purest cream of tartar and MSM sulfur. And that's all. The fact that it contains all natural ingredients makes it especially desirable in today's toxic world. Tarsal is a white powder that you take every day with water or juice. Taken regularly, Tarsal can clear your leaky gut right up.
Tarsal, huh? So what else does Tarsal do?
Tarsal can help with acne, psoriasis, constipation, gallstones, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hypertension, IBS, and UTI.
Wow, that's quite a formula.
Yes, it is. And Tarsal also helps you to relax, repels insects, and can help you stop smoking.
So how do I find Tarsal?
That's easy. Just go to tarsal.com or call 619-363-1264. Try a bottle today and begin feeling normal again.
TARSUL.com. Try Tarsal today.
Asking these questions that no one ever asked before because we didn't even think about this. I think it's like God unlifting the veil, He's starting to show people, look, you want to believe this? It's a lie. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail. It's like, yeah, the biggest problem is that we're not able to asking questions, so therefore we can't assimilate. And, we're a constant. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail.
Join your host, Shelley Lewis, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Down the Rabbit Hole with Shelley Lewis.
Down the Rabbit Hole with host Shelley Lewis. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live. The Ferret.
Okay, back. So, as I was saying, yeah, this pastor. Okay, like I said, I don't believe. I know he's doing a scam. Okay, obviously, it's like indulgences that were sold by the Catholic Church, which was one of the reasons for the Reformation, the Protestant Church. Leaving the Catholic Church was because of indulgences. Basically, indulgences were forgiving of sin if you paid a certain amount of money or whatever. So this is basically what this guy is doing. He's selling indulgences, saying, "Oh, you will get your sins will be forgiven. You're going to heaven. Just pay me $500 for the ticket." Okay. But I would be kind of tempted to defend the guy in a way, not really defend him, because you're not really defending yourself. You don't want to get in the mindset of defending yourself in court. Okay. But what I mean is set the guy straight about, like, here's what you do in court. Okay. You just, for one thing, you nullify the charges against you, because you can do this. You can say, I man claim that these charges are not true, valid, and lawful. Is there any man or woman here who challenges my claim? No man or woman challenges my claim, therefore my claim stands in law and fact. And you do the same thing in writing, that just slightly different wording. Or you can just put it all in writing. Just put the claim in writing. Nullify the claim and stick to your claim. You can make the claim. You say, I man claim that if you give me this $500, I will give you this ticket, and with this ticket you're guaranteed to get into heaven after you die. Okay. Is there any man or woman who challenges that claim? So that's a kind of claim that would be really difficult to challenge now, wouldn't it? Because you can't say for absolute certainty that you're not going to get into heaven if you have one of these tickets, right? But yeah, I mean, really, it's a claim. The guy's making a claim. Now, I think it's a nonsense claim, but I can't challenge it. I honestly cannot challenge it. It's just something, whatever. But yeah. He could actually do that, and he wouldn't be winning the case again. No one, you don't want to win the case. That's not your goal. Okay, your goal is to get the case away from you. Oh, I got another Justin Michael Wood. Oh, cool! Look at the way he's writing his name. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about the bracket in front of it and why the wood is so far out from the colon, but it's no big deal. Yeah, he's doing it kind of like I would do mine. Yeah, I just noticed that he was up there earlier on the chat. Yeah, way earlier, before I even started my show. That's cool. Well, welcome to the show. So anyway, getting on to it. Overdose alert warns pot-like product isn't cannabis, contains what is this? Carfentanil. I guess it's carfentanil, whatever. Yeah, it's basically a synthetic cannabis product, and it can cause overdose. Stay away from synthetic stuff like that. Okay. Seriously. Global Precision Group shooter hits 6,000 yard. That's a 3.4 mile shot. Guess what? He couldn't do that on a globe. That would be impossible on the ball. There you go. There's some flat earth stuff for you. Seriously, the curvature. Oh, and he never took into account the Coriolis effect, because Coriolis effect is nonsense. Okay, There are some really good videos on that, by the way, on YouTube. So I'm not going to go into that. You can look that up on your own on YouTube. But yeah, he never took that into account. But he did walk it in to the target. Now, for those of you who don't know shooting terms, walking into a target means that what you're doing is you take some shots, okay, and say, well, the shots are going left of the target. Okay, so you take some more shots and you move the gun barrel to your right a little bit, closer to the target, and you take more shots and more shots and more shots. I think he took 21 shots, and he walked it into the target that way. He just slowly moved the gun in and in and in, and that's walking it to the target. Okay. And there are some sharpshooters that kind of dismiss the guy because he walked it in instead of just doing it like, one shot or maybe, one shot and then two and then three, perhaps, but yeah, he walked it in. But still, totally impossible on the ball. At 3.4 miles, at 3 miles, that's 72 inches of curvature, approximately, which is 6 feet of curvature. Yeah. I mean, unless the target is like up, because it's, yeah, I don't think so. I just don't think so. Yeah, that's a really long shot. But see, you got Navy guys hitting, using missiles and hitting targets like 50 miles away. Okay, and they're painting them with, jeez, hang on, I just used the military term, or sort of, in painting the target. It means they're using, in this case, a laser, or no, not laser. I'm sorry, pinpoint radar, laser beam radar. Okay, to hit the target first, and then the missile hits. Okay, you can't do that. 50 miles away, there's just no way. There'll be way too much curvature. We're talking about a pencil-sized beam of energy hitting the target first. Yeah, there's just no way. DNA suggests a man is innocent of murder, but a U.S. state is going to execute him tonight anyway. And well, he's probably already dead. That was yesterday at 5:05 p.m. was when I posted it, my time. Yeah. Now, when I posted it on my main page, there were some comments made. And one of the comments was, why are they doing this? And someone had said, well, because he's black. And I made a comment, well, yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, he's black, yes, so that's one of the reasons, but also because they want to close out the account. They drew enough, apparently, from his prison bond, and they're thinking that he's not going to make much more money for them. So what they want to do is they just want to close out the account, the SESWI account. Okay, so that's the reason why they're doing it. They don't care about evidence. Okay, you shouldn't care about evidence either. If it's a court of record, then you care about evidence, but they don't do courts of record. Okay, generally speaking, they don't anyway. They can, and that's a whole nother thing. And technically, that's the way I get out of all these cases and stuff, and leave their courts, is because I put myself into a court of record. Okay, but that's a long thing to go into, and I don't want to go into it right now. Facebook is launching a global cryptocurrency in 2020. We're all doomed. I love how they use the word global. The word global is in quotes. Oh my God. I love this. It's from the nextweb.com is where the story is from. And they're putting quotes around global. Oh, I love it. It's about time. Um, but yeah, Facebook is launching a cryptocurrency in 2020. Yeah, the problem is that it's likely to succeed. It's likely to make a lot of money, a lot of money for them, and of course do a lot of business and everything. Unless something happens, to Facebook in general. Okay, it could be that they get slapped with the antitrust lawsuit. All right, but unless any of that kind of stuff happens, yeah, it's probably going to succeed. But the problem is, it's them acting as a bank. Of course, the banks are committing fraud anyway. That's another thing. If you don't have a rider on the contract you make with the bank, you're kind of screwed, because the bank, it assumes or presumes, actually, it has this presumption that when you put money into that account, you're giving them the money, that they can do anything they want with it, which is the reason why they make lots and lots of money off of it. And sometimes they will open, at least Wells Fargo, they'll open up an account and not even tell you in your name. They'll open up another account, or that's what they did anyway. And they would steal a little bit of that money out of your primary account and put it into your other account and not even tell you the other account is there. Okay, and they do this a lot with the elderly, because the elderly can't keep track of their finances. And in fact, there's a lot of people that can't keep track. Okay, they can't keep track of how much money they're spending, how much money is coming out of their account, whatever. So yeah, the banks will do that kind of crap. That actually reminds me of the time when my friend had lost his driver's license temporarily, like physically lost it. He didn't know where it was, and he couldn't access his account. So I said, okay, let's go up to Santee up here. Santee is like a little town or whatever. It's not an actual city, as in a corporate holding. It's under the county. Okay, it's not incorporated. It's a non-incorporated area. So that's the reason why we went up there. There's a bank. One of his bank branches is up there, right? And we went up there, and I'd prepared some lawful documents, not legal ones, but lawful ones. And I did have one legal. Well, he did have one legal one. That was his birth certificate. And we shoved all that stuff in front of the bank manager, and the bank manager says, well, I still can't help you. And then I said, oh, well, that's a shame. It'd be a shame if I had to go across the street to the sheriff's office and bring the sheriff over here. And then the next thing out of his mouth was, oh, yeah, how much you need? How much you need? How much would you like to withdraw? Okay. Because they know. As soon as I said, oh, okay, well, it'd be a shame if I had to bring the sheriff in. They're right across the street. That was the great thing about Santee is there's a sheriff's office that's across the street from the bank. And it's like, it'd be easy to just go over there, right? Yeah. And that's how you deal with the banks. It's like, it's just really obvious that we weren't there to try to, scam anyone or anything. It was really incredibly obvious. He just didn't have his driver's license, but he did have his birth certificate. And it's like, well, yeah, he's, we're right here. We don't have mask on or anything like that. It's like, this is his account number. Here's his checkbook, whatever, we had all this other stuff. Plus the lawful documents. So anyway, let me move on because I'm running out of time. Facebook refuses to delete fake Pelosi video spread by Trump supporters. Okay. Um, the thing about that is, you might say, well, if they delete it, censorship. Actually, in this particular case, since it is really considered, I guess, slander, really. Both slander and libel, I guess, to a certain degree. It's something that's causing harm to her reputation, in other words. So if it's causing harm to your reputation, then you have every right to seek that, make sure it's gone because it's fake. Okay. And it was fake. It was altered. Okay. An altered video. So she has every right to come forward and say, I don't like her, by the way. Congress does business as Nancy Pelosi, by the way, just in case you're wondering. That's a really look up Dun and Bradstreet. Derek R. McLeod owns the United States. Okay. Read in there. Okay. But anyway, yeah. And of course, there's lots of people that don't care because it's Nancy Pelosi. But I say to them, it's like, well, what if it wasn't her? What if it was you instead? You see, you got to defend other people's rights. This is one of the reasons why you got to do this, because if you don't defend someone else's rights like this, okay, then when they come for you, yeah, you may be screwed. Oh yeah, Alexa saves transcripts, and I've got a link to the story. It's up here anyway. It's this senator or whatever is getting on Amazon, I think it is, that has Alexa, getting on them and saying, hey, why is Alexa saving these transcripts? These transcripts are from users that use the Alexa thing. Samsung deep fake AI could fabricate a video of you from a single profile pic. And just as an example, they took the Mona Lisa and just a picture of the Mona Lisa painting and made a video out of it. Okay. The real reason grocery stores spray water on their produce, in short, it's a scam. They when they put the water on that, the plants actually soak up the water and it makes them heavier. Okay. And there's all the excess water on it. So you gotta kind of shake the plants a little bit to get a lot of the excess water off of it, because it's done by weight. All right. A lot of it's done by weight. And it actually does not help keep the plants fresh. It's actually the opposite, because it's watering them when they're out of the soil and everything. So, yeah, it's not good. Cops open door to home, don't ID themselves, kill innocent unarmed teen and dog. Yeah, they didn't identify themselves at all. They're intruders, and they committed murder. This guy cut his electric bill by 1/3 by unplugging his cable box. Turns out the cable box takes up a lot of electricity. So if you have a cable box in your home, when you're not using it, unplug it. Okay. Simply unplug it. Let's see. I'm going to have to skip that one. Sperm face masks are becoming a thing now. Beauty experts says that it can slow aging. That reminds me of the movie Caligula. Every time I think about sperm on a woman's face, I'm reminded about that movie. Oh, it's good for the skin, dear. It's just like there was like 6 guys and 1 woman in the scene, but whatever. If you haven't seen Caligula, you really should. There are some parts in it that I don't like because they were like violent parts. I didn't watch that. I just kind of skipped through those parts. But yeah, it's very interesting. The whole subject of Caligula is very interesting, as a matter of fact. But I can't go into it because I'm running out of time fast. Cop snaps, abuses his own canine after he failed to find drugs during a stop. So in other words, the dog could not find any drugs because there weren't any drugs to find, and so the cop takes his anger out on the dog. Yeah, that just shows you something about that. South African doctor performs world's first middle ear transplant using 3D technology. Measles virus wipes out golf ball sized cancer tumor in 36 hours. Okay. I can't remember how many years, but there's a guy that testified that it's like within like 5 years or something like that, there had been 2 measles deaths, but in that same time period, there were like several hundred deaths from the vaccine, the measles vaccine. So yeah, make of that what you will. Lab owner arrested for falsifying results on drug test. Yeah, they'll do that sometimes. State fails to pass a bill that would have made raping women illegal. That's in South Carolina, I believe. Of course. Pfizer vice president blows whistle on Gardasil. The vaccine is deadly, he says. And this is from the vice president of Pfizer. So he should know. Iceland has made it illegal to pay women less than men. That's cool. I guess sort of. It's a whole subject right there. Legal and lawful stuff and whatever. I was going to talk more about that, but I don't have time. Cops raid grandma's home, mistake grandpa's ashes for heroin, arrest her. Yeah, cops just see drugs all around them. What you got there? Oh, well, I've got cotton candy. It's in the bag. It says cotton candy right on it. Oh, well, I think that's crack or whatever it was that he said. Or because they actually did. It wasn't crack. It was some other drug. I forgot. I don't know too much about those street drugs, actually. But yeah, the cops arrested some lady for that too. So yeah, and actually it just turned out to be cotton candy, just like it said on the bag, cotton candy. Yeah, what can I say? They're stupid. They are just so incredibly stupid. It's amazing. Total morons. And for the most part, total absolute morons. It's been shown, by the way, proven that they will not hire anyone unless your IQ is really low. As in you're not smart at all. Okay. They don't hire those that are really intelligent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end the video for YouTube. Don't worry about anyone listening on YouTube. You're not going to miss anything. Okay. Because I'm about to end the broadcast on FAR Live